Hi everyone. Today we're going to be looking at how to model one variable data through the use of dot plots, box and whisker plots, and histograms. So the first one we're going to look at is how to do a dot plot. So it says a farm is studying the weight of baby chickens after 1 week of growth. They find the weight in ounces of 20 chicks. That the weights are shown below. So in order to construct a dot plot, it's pretty easy, and I think you guys have seen this before. You just take each number and you put a dot. So at 2 I put a dot, I put a dot at 1, put a dot at 3, 4. Alright, so I want you guys to pause the video now and I want you to finish doing this dot plot. So we'll check back in a second. Alright, so check in with my dot plot and notice you see we have all the dots on my chart and we're able to see a few things. We know that 3 is the mode because it happens the most. We know that there's a tail off to the right in this one, so it's skewed to the right. We could calculate the median if we wanted to go through. So there's just some different things from the last lesson that we learned of what we can do with a dot plot. So a box and whisker plot is another way to visually see our data. So in order to do a box and whisker plot, you could do this by hand and find your 5-number summary. We know that there's 15 employees, but in this example, we're going to actually use our calculator. So if you look to the next page, you'll see the steps of how to do a box and whisker plot on our calculator, but we're going to do this one together. So notice I already did the scale. I went from 16 to 44 because my minimum was 16 and my max was 44. So if you want to go ahead and put your whiskers on 44 and 16, we know that those are our min and our max, and I just created a scale based on that min and max. So let's look at our calculator now, and I'm going to show you guys how to enter the data in. So you're going to go new document. We're going to go to number 4, add list and spreadsheet, and at the top I'm going to name this ages because we're looking at the ages of employees. Now I'm going to just go through and carefully enter all my data in. So I have 16, 17, and notice I skipped the space here. It's because my first piece of data is 16. Make sure you're following along and you're entering the data with me. Alright, so I get to the bottom, I should have 15, so we're good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit Control Doc. We're going to go to 5, Add Data and Statistics. So again, Control Doc. We're going to go to Add Data and Stats. And notice it puts all these dots on a screen. So what we want to do now is we want to click to add a variable, and we're going to click on ages right here. And what it did is it created a dot plot for us. And they created a scale for us. So you could have just modeled the scale based on what they gave us here. So once I get to this step, I want a box and whisker plot. So I'm going to hit Menu. And notice where it says Plot Type. So 1. And I'm going to go to Histogram. Oh, I'm sorry, not histogram. We want plot type, but you could do a histogram. We want a box plot. And so it creates our data for us. And if you hover over, it gives us the min, Q1, the median, Q3, and our max. So let's take each of our dots, and on Q1 it was 18, so we're going to put a dot at 18. We're going to put a median, we're going to put a dot at 26. A dot at 37, and then we're just going to create lines at each one of these. Then in the middle we make our box, and then we just draw our whiskers. And I like to just label, so this is our min, this is our max, we have Q1, Q2, and Q3, or we could also write median. So this gives us a good 5-number summary. And this is an easy way to use our graphing calculator to create a box and whisker plot. Alright, so the third and final type that we're going to look at is a histogram. let me go back to my other blank sheet. So I'm going to go to a histogram, and I want you to guys notice what is happening here. So it says the 2006 Arlington varsity boys basketball team had an excellent season, compiling a record of 15-5. Total points scored by the team for each of the 20 games are listed below. So look at here, we have 76. We would go through and we would make a tally. So in between 70 and 79, we made a tally. 55, we would put one right here. 76, once again right here. And we just go through for each one and we create a tally. Once we have the tallies, we make a frequency. So the tally here is 3. We just count the tallies. 8, 6, 2, and I want you guys to notice there's none between 80 and 89, but we still want to include that. It's 0. 90 to 99 is 1. And so now you have to be careful of what you want to do here, but we're just going to create a scale, and we want to go every 2, because I think every 2 would fit. So we're going to skip some space, because if you notice, it's not going to start at 0. So what we do is we create a little break in the graph to show that it doesn't start at 0. So the first one is going to be 40 to 49. And we don't want to skip spaces. 50 to 59. 60 to 69. 70 to 79. 80 to 89. And 90 to 99. And then our y-axis, we're just going to go up by 1. So we're just going to go 1, 2. And our y-axis, we're just going to say that this is the frequency. And the x-axis, or our variable, is the points scored. So I'm going to just write points scored here. And now we're just going to make a bar graph. So we're going to go to 40 to 49, and there's 3. So I just create a little bar graph here. And I can shade that in if I want. And then I go to the next one, it's 8. So I go up to 8. And then I just keep filling it in. And then I go 60 to 69. There were 6. I'm going to go through this kind of quick now, because I think you guys got the hang of it. I go up to 2. And at any time you can feel free to pause the video. 80 to 89 is 0, so I leave it at 0. And then the last one is at just at 1. And I just fill that in. So that is how you would construct a histogram. And you could also use your calculator to help you see this as a histogram as well. So thanks for watching the video. Have a great day.